Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here.
Today I'm making resin ladybug pendants inspired by the Wire Lady TV live stream. I'm using 16 gauge artistic wire, or you can use 3mm flat artistic wire. I'm also using 16 gauge black aluminum wire and 18 gauge silver artistic wire. You will need some UV resin. I'll link up my materials in the description below the video. I'm coloring the resin with gel nail polish, black acrylic paint, and Demco Pure Pigments. I'm using 5mm rubber O-rings and 11-0 seed beads for the dots on the ladybugs. My tools are the Beadalon Slimline Series chain nose and round nose pliers, their Glimmer Series nipper tool, their nylon jaw pliers, and the bail making pliers. I'm going to actually use a pasta maker to flatten the wire. So I'm taking 16 gauge artistic wire and I'm going to set the pasta maker at number 5 and I'm going to bring it through the pasta maker. Make sure it's clamped to a surface. You can hold down the pasta maker so it won't wiggle and it will come through. You can straighten it out and then we are going to set the pasta maker tighter at around 9. Now we're going to feed it through again to make sure it's nice and flat, and it will end up being about 2 to 3 millimeters wide. Hold it firmly, bring the wire through, and there we have our flat wire. I'm using about 10 inches. And now we are going to bend it in the center with our chain nose pliers. Give it a little bit of a pinch. I'll link up the templates in the description below. They're available in my resin, jewelry, and Suncatchers ebook. Now we're going to bend the bottom of the wings out at a right angle with the flat nose or chain nose pliers. Make sure they're at the same position. And now I'm going to get a pill bottle to form the curve. Bring it around, curve it in, and check with the template that it's the right size. Make the little adjustments. And once you're at the right size, take your chain nose pliers and bend the wire out. Hold the wire with the pliers and push with your fingers. Now we'll do the same on the other side. Curve out the wire. Give it a good little push and bend it out for the head, making sure the wings are even. Adjust it as you need and bend it right out. Push with your fingers and bend it up and curve it for the head. Same on the other side. Hold the wire with the pliers and curve up with your fingers. Bring it right around. Make sure they're even. Bend the wire straight up at the center. A little bit more. And the other side. Straight up. Now we're going to clip the ends to about an inch or 3/4 of an inch and bring the wire down into a loop using the bail making pliers. Hold the wire and curve the wire around. Give it a little pinch. Make sure they're even. Bend the antenna out a little bit. For the black wire one, we're using 16 gauge black aluminum wire, Same method, bend it in the middle. Pinch it at the top. Measure it on the template and bend the wings out at a right angle on both sides. Curve it out with the pill bottle. The aluminum wire is softer and it's nice to work with. You can really sculpt with this wire. Bend the wire out for the head and do the same on the other side. Wiggle it around so they're even and bend the wire out for the head. Give it a little pinch. Bring the wires closer together and then bend it up for the head. Same on the other side. Make sure it's even. You can pinch the wires together a little more and curve it out for the head. Bend it up at the center at a right angle, curve and bend. Adjust it and clip the wires to about 3/4 of an inch. Take your bail making pliers and curve it around for the antenna. Make a closed loop, flip it around and do the same on the other side. Curve it around. You could pinch it down with the nylon jaw pliers so it's even and bend out the antenna a little bit more. Make sure the antennas connect at the base. And now we're going to do the same with 18 gauge silver artistic wire. This one will be a little bit smaller as the wire is a bit thinner. Same method. Pinch it at the top. Compare it to the template and bend the wires out at an angle. Curve the wire around to form the wing. Bring it right up to the top and bend it out for the head. Same on the other side. Bring the wire around and out. Give it a good little push with your thumb. Make sure they're even. Push the wire down and bring it up to form the head. Bend and curve. And then bend it straight up for the antenna. Now the other side, up at an angle, curve it around and up for the antenna. Give it a good little push and pull the wire straight. Adjust it as you need so the angles are nice and sharp, and clip to a little bit longer this time. It's a little over an inch because now we're going to do a bit of a spiral. So you can cut the wire to about an inch, inch and a quarter, curve it around, and it looks cute with a little bit of a spiral, gives it a little bit more detail. Adjust that spiral and then press it with the nylon jaw pliers so it's flat. And now we're going to set them up on some tape. This is the tape that came with the resin kit. It's very sticky. You might want to opt for some clear tape, whatever you have on hand. You just want to hold it in place and make sure the resin doesn't leak underneath the wire. Press the pieces down. And now we're going to add the resin. So straight out of the bottle, we're going to add some resin. I would advise adding a little bit more. My base coat was a little bit thin, and you really want a decent base coat so that it won't, the colors won't leak through. And we can get out the bubbles with a lighter or a torch or a heat gun. Set them for 5 minutes. And once you've done that, we're going to do another little coat of resin, and we are going to add some O-rings. I used these in the live stream and they worked really well. I'll link up where to get them in the description below the video. Adjust them, and now again for about 150 seconds we'll set it, and we're going to go ahead with the gel nail polish. I just bought these on Amazon. Try not to use a too thick coat because the gel nail polish does take longer to set. So I would advise doing a thin coat of the gel nail polish. I'm using a nail polish, a brush that Amber sent me to spread out the nail polish. And now we're going to do the black. So just little dabs inside the O-rings, not too thick because we don't want it to take too long to dry. So just little bits of nail polish, and then of course in the head, thin coat. Spread it around with the nail brush, and we're going to go ahead and set it for about 5 minutes. Now I decided just to separate these, and I tried to remove the tape. There was a little bit that got left over, but I was able to get it off at the very end with some nail polish remover. Set it a little bit longer if the nail polish is still wet. And now we're going to go ahead and do a very thin coat of resin for a varnish. Put the light on again and set it a little longer, as long as you need, between 2 and 5 minutes. And now we're going to go ahead and make some jump rings with the flat wire. Curve it around the bail making pliers at an angle so they're one above the other, and clip each end flush. Push them together so they're flat. And we're going to make 6 of those. Put another thin coat of resin on this one. It already has a medium thickness of coat of resin, so now we're going to put a thin coat and add the jump rings. Adjust them so they're in the right position and set them. So now we have to mix some color. We're going to put some resin in a pot, and I bought these pigments. So I bought the pure pigments at the art store. Just going to put a little bit. You don't need too much. I almost put too much in there, but you really don't need much pigment because it's very, very intense. Mix it really well so it's not lumpy, and then go ahead and carefully put this in the areas where the red will be, and then spread it around with the end of the silicone stick. Just carefully bring it around. And now for the black, you can see the difference of the kind of pigments. You can buy Let's Resin mica pigments, but I decided to go with the pure pigments because they're more intense. So fill that up, and we're going to go ahead and set it. Now the third technique is to use acrylic paint. So we just put a little bit of paint and some resin. Susan suggested to do about 30% acrylic paint and 70% resin, and that seems to be a good rule of thumb. My paint was a little sticky, so it ended up being a little bit gummy, so just be careful when you apply it. And we're going to fill in the whole wing with the red on both sides, and then I'm adding seed beads. So these are the 11-0 size seed beads. They're quite small. And we will place them around the wings, 6 of them all together. Adjust them. We're going to mix up some black acrylic paint with the resin. You don't need much paint. You don't want too much paint or it won't set. Once that's filled in, we'll go ahead and set it for about 5 minutes. Now at the very end, I'm adding some wire to make sure the antenna doesn't come apart. This is 22 gauge artistic wire. Wrap it around a couple of times, 2 to 3 times at the base of the antenna. Clip the ends with the flush cutters. Give it a good little clip and press with the nylon jaw pliers. Give it a good little press. So there's the silver one. Do the same with the black. I have 20 gauge aluminum black wire that I'm using for this. The aluminum's nice and soft and it will hold them in place. Clip the ends flush. And the other end, make sure the wire is sitting at the base of the antenna and give it a little press with the nylon jaw pliers. There you go. And same with the gold one, 22 gauge wire to hold them together, and there's the gold one. Here are the finished pendants, and I will link up my resin jewelry and suncatchers ebook in the description below the video. It has all the templates for all my resin projects so far, and you can use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase any 5 templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my Etsy DIY shop.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making tutorials. Join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook to share pictures of your wire art and wire jewelry. Hop over to the Wire Lady TV channel every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where I troubleshoot new ideas for wire art and jewelry, and I welcome your ideas and special requests. Also, you can find my new kits and surprise packs in my Etsy DIY shop. There's also templates, tutorials, and ebooks. You can use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase any 5 templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my Etsy DIY shop. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.